When you think of this, like, how is a guy supposed to tackle an offensive guy from behind now? You got defenders, that linebackers, DBs, safeties that are going to be going up against guys that are 30, 40, 50 pounds heavier than they are. And the only way for them to get them down to the ground is to try to use their own body weight as leverage to get them there. I want the game to be safer. I'm a guy that was hip drop, mollywop, and spun on my top in my NFL career. So I understand how they're trying to take unnecessary injuries and unnecessary plays out of the game. But at the same time, I still want the guys to be able to go out there and play the game of football. And right now, this is only going to add more penalties to the game. It's only going to add more flags and more fines. And I don't think that's what people want to see. We want the game to be safe, but it's got to be an even playing field for both sides of the ball.
It's called evolution, RG3. I understand that, this makes it a lot more difficult for defenders to get the guy on the ground, but you got to think about the first 50, 60 years. I really never saw this tackle. When I played, I can't recall someone getting injured. I think maybe once I saw this tackle, but now we see it with regularity, just like the horse collar. We saw that, and then they outlawed that. Now, the problem that I do have with the NFL guys is that, say, we're trying to make the game safer, but all the while you're at a 17th game, and now you're looking to add an 18th game. So I don't give me this. This is about the safety of the game, but this is an inherently dangerous play. And I read who was it? Someone said it has a 20 to 25% higher injury rate than any other play, any other tackle in the league. Well, when you start getting 2 times, 3 times, but when you talk about 20, 25 times, well, you have to do something with it. I knew it was just going to be a matter of time. I thought they would do it last year because if you remember, I think Jacksonville did a hip drop tackle on Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, and it had him hobbled throughout the entirety of the playoffs. And so, but I knew this was coming. Just like that hit to the quarterback's knee in the pocket with Tom Brady, you knew it was just going to be a matter of time. So I totally agree. I understand. But guess what, guys? They want scoring to go back up. It's about to go back up now because it's going to make it a lot more difficult for guys to tackle.
I'm with RG3. I don't get what we're doing here. This is football, and like him, I'm a 5'7" wide receiver. Trust me, I can put a highlight tape that rivals anybody in NFL history on the wrong side of big-time hits. But the reality is you were putting the defense at an increased disadvantage in the game of football because if they run by you, you might as well stop trying because now you're starting to think about how you need to get them down. And to RG3's point, it does create indecision, and that indecision is inherently more dangerous if everybody else is operating at a full speed juncture. Shannon, the reason why you probably didn't see this in your day is because they were clotheslining people. They were hitting them for real, and it wasn't going to be on top of those highlights. They was doing the real tackles, right? But this is just a fundamental tackle. You have to use your body weight to get people down. My question becomes, what's next? Is it now you can't tackle at the knees? Now you can't tackle at all from behind. Now you can't cut block. And yes, these are things that create injury. We have to, at some point, come to grips with the NFL being a 100% injury rate for players. You're going to get hurt. Anything head-related, anything that will affect your life mentally going forward, we understand. But we as all players understand there is an opportunity to go out there, and there is a chance you will be injured. Last season, lower extremity injuries were at a 4-year low. So my question is, who asked for this?
Let me ask you a question. It was at a 4-year low, but when we look at the injury rate, what caused the majority of the injuries even though it was at a low? I guarantee you, look at the hip drop tackle, the number one cause of the injury, lower extremity injury was the hip drop tackle. And it was Troy Vincent that said this. He said, the greatest asset for our athlete is durability and availability. When you have a play that's 20 to 25 times the injury rate, it doesn't allow you to fulfill your dreams. So this is Troy Vincent, who's the EV of the NFL. He's saying the injury rate of this play is so great, we have to remove it. You're right. There used to be a time you could clothesline a guy. Even before my time, the head slap was legal, but they are doing away with a lot of these plays to try to make the game safer. But you can't say we're gonna make the game safer so we can add more games to the play on the back end. So we're gonna make it safer on the front end, but we're gonna add games to the schedule on the back end. That's where I push back on the NFL. But I'm glad they removed this play because I knew it was just gonna be a matter of time.
Shay, you brought up Troy Vincent there, and I got a lot of respect for Troy Vincent and what he's been able to do. And he called, like, he talks about being the gatekeeper of the NFL. And as these plays continue to get removed from the game, I think what Hawk is getting at is the fact that we're not seeing these plays getting focused on for the defense. Yes, scoring is at a, it's been down for the past 4 seasons, so they want that
Yeah,
to come back up, but they
sure.
shouldn't put it on the defenders to make that happen. Right now, as a quarterback, right? I love the protections for the QBs. You can't hit them high, you can't hit them low. You basically can't hit anybody across the middle until they catch the football, blink twice, get both feet down, make a football move, and then tell you, hey, yeah, you can come hit me now.
Right.
The fan at home is arguably saying to themselves, it's only a matter of time before NFL football becomes physical flag football. Because as we continue to go through this, they're going to ban the hip. They ban the hip drop tackle. They already banned the horse collar.
Yeah.
What's going to be the next one? What's going to be the next thing that they take out of the game that is talking about making the game unsafe? Football is an unsafe game in itself. We
Correct.
have to make sure we keep the parameters of the game the same as we take some of these plays out. And I don't know if we're doing enough to protect defenders right now.
No, you're not. But here's the go ahead, Hawk. I'll let you go. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I mean, I'm all for health and safety. Trust me, I am agreeing with everything Troy Vincent is talking about. But you are making it almost impossible for these defenders to do their job the way that the job description says so. So until you change the job description, you can't be changing their abilities to go about it at a successful rate, without their input. And on top of that, yes, I get the statistics that you gave for the hip drop tackle. But if you ask any current players, what do you think the biggest impetus around these lower extremity injuries are? They're going to say the fact that you're playing on turf and grass on any given week.